God hates blanks and the things that they do. I mean, going to soldiers' funerals and saying that this is because we've lost our way. No, this is because people posing as Christians are really into the occult, and they're sending our daughters, our sons, our mothers, our fathers, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters into an unjust war to occupy and create a Eurasian Union. I thank you for the call, Anonymous. Let's go to...
Can I say one more thing?
Sure. If you're still on, you can. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't really taking it that far. I was actually pulling it back a little closer to home. And that is, I think in the workplace, perhaps, is a good way to think about it. Suppose you're in a workplace, ethics dictate the workplace. But the ethics of the workplace might not correlate with your values and your morals. And so therefore you have to reconcile that or you go nuts. And I think some of the things that you're discussing about police officers and people in general, and even people when presented with the various positions on 9/11, this is one of the problems that they face, is trying to reconcile those two things, and they can't.
Well, it obviously is very difficult to, look at somebody else's belief system without doing extensive studies, seeing clip after clip after clip after clip of authoritative abuse, or seeing, Loose Change Final Cut, Terror Storm, Fabled Enemies, and getting that picture of 9/11. That is very hard to do, especially when you're set in your ways. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Mike in California. Mike, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason. This is Mike in California, as you just mentioned, and I thank you very much for my call, bro. Hey, keep playing the Flowbots and love Offspring as well. Good music. Always good music, Jason.
Ah, thank you, my man.
Hey, I'm a longtime Alex Jones listener, big fan, and I guess a Prison Planet member for about 3 years.
Oh, cool.
Loose Change was truly a wake-up call for me. Fabled Enemies was an outstanding follow-up, and like many I know, we all look forward to your next film, bro.
Oh, cool.
Hey, so I have many questions, but I'll go in the direction of a previous caller that, before Alex, of all people, cut in. He brought up the Bilderberger meeting and the Trudeau interview from Tuesday.
Yeah.
What an amazing interview. I'm still trying to reconcile exactly what to think of it. But do you believe that Trudeau is really an insider with these guys?
Well, I would say this. I would think, and I'll let you get your second point off. I would think that, if Trudeau isn't a true insider, in other words, somebody that attends these meetings, he definitely knows people that attend these meetings. When you hit a certain level of billionaire, it's hard for them to ignore you, whether they like you or they don't like you. And this is a guy that, again, love him or hate him, like or dislike his information. I was just thumbing through Natural Cures out there. He just sent us his entire body of work signed. And what's in there? It says to exercise, take a vitamin. It talks about colloidal products. We promote colloidal silver and other things on this program. So a lot of the things are things that I already know, just being involved in the Patriot community and actually trying to take care of myself, a little bit. I am guilty. I do eat fast food. I'm not in the best shape of my life, but I'm also not in that bad a shape. And I do try to do some of these things that we promote on the show because I do believe in them. And, I look at, his debt cures book, and yes, these debt cures are real. And I look at the way that the FTC fined him $37 million. So, when the mainstream media attacks somebody like Kevin Trudeau on the level that they do and have, I will give him that benefit of the doubt. Now, I know there's some other website that he's promoting that, talks about members of all these different groups, including the Bilderberg group and the Illuminati. I can't speak for whatever program that is. I'm not a part of that program. But, the guy's in Europe. He's a worldwide mover and shaker. I would find it hard to believe that at this point he doesn't have some insider knowledge. But I think that, another reason that he's a PrisonPlanet.tv subscriber and he listens to Alex Jones and programs like that is because, he does want to stay informed. In other words, he wants to hear both angles. He's also aware of the fact that things are compartmentalized. What somebody inside the group may tell him might not be the biggest picture. Who does have that really large picture of what's going on, what the agenda is? I'd again say that Rockefeller and Kissinger are two of the top guys. I mean, I don't know. I would assume the royalty also see the bigger picture, but I'm not sure they're the policy setters and makers. So what's the second part of the question?
Well, you kind of addressed it a little bit, dude. You know, that global information network. We've done some research on Prison Planet Forum, and a lot of people are asking questions. I for one of them, am asking big questions because it looks like a pyramid scheme.
And it may be. Again, you know, that's something, you know, I like I said, I looked at his books. I briefly looked at that website. And, you know, at the very top of the things that they're supposedly going to teach you is the law of attraction. And I encourage anybody out there to go check into the law of attraction and what some people are calling it and what it truly is and whether you believe it or not, because I'm a strong believer in the law of attraction. In other words, positive thinking, working towards a goal. You can't just think positively and, you know, it's going to manifest. You have to work towards it. You have to do the things that you need to get to that goal. But the first step in any goal is setting it and then believing you can achieve it. And, you know, one way or another, you know, I didn't know how I was going to get out here in Austin, Texas in 2004 before I had even touched the Loose Change Project. And I was telling my friends, they were always going, oh, Bermas, you talk about the chip, you talk about the North American Union, you talk about the New World. What are you going to do about it? And I said, well, one day, you know, maybe I'd like to go out to Texas and do, you know, talk radio and make movies with Alex Jones. I mean, literally laughed in my face. A lot of my friends just totally and completely laughed in my face. And now 5 years later, when I see them at an alumni weekend or another event when I'm back in New York, you know, I've done it. And I did it in a relatively short amount of time. And if you had asked me in 2004, Jason, how are you going to do this? I couldn't have told you. I said, what I would say back then is this. I said, well, you know, I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, and that was inform other people, burn discs. I mean, this was back in the CDR days of, you know, compressed movies that I was getting off Kazaa and Morpheus, and I was really just learning as much as I could, becoming a better orator, becoming better with people in general. So, you know, that website is promoting this law of attraction, and among other things that, you know, I've also looked into and really do, I don't know, it catches my eye. It sparks my interest. It makes me want to look further into it. So, you know, have questions. I'm not telling people to sign up for it, but at the same time, you know, Trudeau has done a lot of great stuff. I thank you for the call, Mike. We're going to go to more calls on the other side. It's the Info Warrior.